In total, between voice messages and email messages, we received 549 messages supporting the removal of monuments and 19 messages opposing the removal of
I'm very concerned about the movement that's going on to remove the Vance Monument. They should not allow that. That's a prominent focal point of Asheville. It's not racist. Vance was a former governor. If they want to change the plaque on the front, fine.
You start burning books in the middle of the public square and it turns into something else. And it doesn't stop. Once you start succumbing to this stuff, it doesn't.
It is part of heritage in this area. I do hope someone can take down the graffiti.
It is part of our history, and we can't change our history. We need to be teaching history to our children.
It's just unbelievable what y'all do when somebody snaps their fingers.
It's always been a designated landmark, and I just think it's a shame that all of a sudden all these people want to get rid of all the things that mean so much to the people who have lived in this area all of their lives. I think it's ridiculous to want to get rid of Civil War heroes. I don't understand why people can't just leave things alone and let people enjoy the things that we've always had to enjoy.
That's our heritage. You don't see them taking out the reenactment up there north, up in Pennsylvania. You don't see them going after them statues or nothing about them. And they had slaves too, you know.
I was wondering if we wanted Martin Luther King monument taken down, would y'all be willing to take that down? You're willing to take everything else down. Why not take him down?
His monument to his success and what he did there should remain.
It's been there all my life, and nothing has ever been said until these last few weeks.
Monuments that have been erected in Asheville and across the country are monuments to a band of racist traitors. Since the Civil War, we as Americans have been lied to. We've been fed propaganda about the Confederacy. It has been lionized as some sort of patriotic act, but all it was a defense of slavery. These monuments need to be torn down. Our past needs to be remembered as it was, as a shameful period of human subjugation, and these people should not be worshipped as heroes.
The monuments that are erected within the Asheville city limits were erected to remind black men and women that whites still have power. They still have the control. The arguments that say the Confederate flag or statues and monuments represented heritage, not hate, ignores the near universal heritage of African Americans. I support them being taken down and or repurposed.
I think it's extremely offensive that we still have these standing, as well as the fact that so many names of roads in our city are named after slave owners.
Monuments were not erected for the sake of history. They were erected to remind black and brown people in our area that white people are still the ones with power.
But it's a harmful continuation of glorifying the work of people who are unconscionable in their actions, belief structures, and the oppressive systems that they had a hand in creating.
I believe that the Vance Monument should be moved to Vance's birthplace, and that way anyone who wants to honor it can go there to honor it.
You know, in some ways monuments are a symbol, but these are public symbols that sit on public land and send a really clear message about what our values are as a community. So I hear very clearly the call to remove them, and I think there's a really deeply shared passion for the well-being of children on this commission. And for me, what I always think of first is a young black child walking through downtown Asheville and the message that is communicated to them about the town and county they call home when they see these monuments. And I think about the message we could be communicating.
One of the questions that I had then as a young African-American kid or young man was, why in the heck have we been left out of our history? And when we come forward today, I still ask that question. You know, it's almost like we've been the invisible people. But I'm glad to see that finally here now we're beginning to have this conversation. and I will vote for this tonight because I think it's a start. But commissioners, it's only the beginning.
I don't look at that monument for my value. I look upward. I don't look to Washington, D.C. for fixing. I don't look to Raleigh, North Carolina. I look upward to my Heavenly Father, and that's what we're going to have to do. But
I don't know the history of Vance. It really doesn't matter. It's what it represents, and I get that people are concerned about that and hurt by that. But I don't think that the way this is written, and I don't think this is the answer. And for that, I'm not going to be supporting it. But I understand that people are broken over some of the symbols, and but if we're going to look at things like this, we're going to have to look at it in the totality of the county. So
I just really don't think that removing the monument or the name is a fix. I think it is a crutch. Because what do we do next? Put this on the 2020 ballot in November and let the people, voice their opinion. We heard a lot. We could have heard a lot more tonight. I don't think it is my duty as one person out of these 7 to be able to do something that's been in here until we look at everything. So
these are Confederate monuments that are on city and county owned land. So that's, we're not telling people they can't share their views in their own way, in their own space. But the discussion is about what we're going to elevate on our public property in the heart of our city. I don't think everyone who fought for the Confederacy was an evil person by any means. Most people who fought on both sides were just poor farmers. But that doesn't change the fact that the Confederacy was a government that was primarily formed to preserve and expand the institution of slavery. Governor Vance was a complicated figure. He did some good things in his life, for sure. But it doesn't change the fact that he led the fight to preserve and defend slavery. Even after the war, he defended the institution of slavery to the end of his life. So when I think about the heart of our city and our public square and what should be there, it should not be a monument commemorating that figure. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
All right, it passes 4-3.